We're pretty happy with our progress so far. We've really hit some of the milestones that we wanted to achieve.
We're getting everything together for the fitting and testing. We have a couple of candidates coming in. Pretty excited to get some real feedback. So with a few days left to Endeavour, we really feel like we're on the final sprint. There's one more candidate that we're fitting one of our hands to just this afternoon, waiting on feedback for those kinds of things. The next steps are getting Endeavour all wrapped up, and pretty much straight after that is the final report. So we're kind of feverishly writing out the report right now because there's not much time left. I think after Endeavour and the conclusion of the project, Michael and I both hope to keep printing prosthetic hands. 3D printing material is quite cheap. That's half of why we're doing this. If I can get my hands on my own 3D printer, that would really help. So I've been saving up for one, and we're trying to keep in contact with the candidates that we've fitted so that when we have more valuable feedback, we can make some changes and hopefully give them more appropriate prosthetics. For the Endeavour exhibition, I'm really looking forward to showcasing the work that we've done, just getting as many people as we can into that building and showing off our work right there in the booth. And I also want to see what everyone else has done, because I know there's a heap of really cool projects going on this year. So hopefully I don't have to be at my booth all day. I can leave Michael and do a bit of a wander and see what everyone else is doing. I'm really excited for a lot of the projects that are going to be at Endeavour. I think there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff this year. I would highly encourage anyone to come along and just have a look, because you really never know what you're going to see. There's just so much there.
With just a few days left of our project, we are hoping to fit our final hand to a participant this afternoon, and we're really looking forward to that, to see our work being put to good use. It's a really sort of rewarding experience. We've already given out one hand, and tonight will be our final hand for this project. So this afternoon we have our second participant. His name is Miko, and he is 7 years old, and he will be coming in with his parents, and we'll go through the series of objects to pick up with him and sort of gauge his response on what he wants out of a prosthetic, if he's used a prosthetic before, and what he thinks of our prosthetic. Initial feedback tonight, as well as the following feedback in a week's time. This afternoon we have a variety of objects that we want to take the participant through. After fitting the hand to them and making sure that it's a perfect fit and not uncomfortable, we ask them to pick up a variety of objects, so things like a ball, an apple, a glass, and practice that motion with the gripping of the fingers. And then we move on to our tool adapters, so things like tennis rackets, sporting equipment, as well as pens and cutlery as well. So everyday objects that we hope that they'll use in the week. And after the fitting today, they take the prosthetic home with them, and in a week's time we ask them a lot of questions about how they used it, the frequency, if they found it useful or not. So we're currently getting some feedback now from our first candidate, and then next week, just before Endeavour, we'll get the feedback from tonight's candidate. I actually came to, I think it was an Endeavour exhibition when I was in high school, and that was when I first saw 3D printing, and I just thought it was really cool. So I'm actually really happy now that I'm able to work in sort of the 3D printing industry and take that technology further and maybe inspire others at this year's Endeavour. It definitely encouraged me that engineering was what I wanted to do. So Matt and I met at the beginning of our master's degree, and we've worked on a lot of projects together throughout that time, both being in the same stream, and it's been really helpful to have sort of a really good mate go through that whole process with you. So at the end of our project, we hope that our project will be able to continue in future years. There's always some improvements to be made, especially in the functionality department. We focused on 3 key areas, and there's certainly a whole lot more that can be focused on. So I think that this project will continue next year for other capstone students. It's all about improving the functionality of 3D printed prosthetics and keeping it fully mechanical and sort of not any robotics or electrical in there. So there's plenty more to be done to it, and there's always improvements that can be made. Hey everyone, thanks for following and watching our Road to Endeavour journey.
If you'd like to help us win the Road to Endeavour social media prize, please like this video on YouTube.
And don't forget to come see us on Thursday, 18th of October at the University of Melbourne.